G'day guys, how you doing? So this is a rifle versus rifle video. I don't know if you can see the board, see the writing, but what we're doing is we're doing this, the Winchester 62 versus the Remington 12A. So the Winchester ran from 1932 to 1958. We've dated this rifle, it's about a 1938 I think. The Remington, they ran from 1909 to 1936, so these two.
And on the third day, God created the Remington bolt-action rifle so that man could fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals. Amen.
The rifles were pretty close to one another. I wasn't able to get a definitive dating, but I think it's around about 1929-ish, so we'll go with that. And so basically, I wasn't able to find much of a Remington versus Winchester on the YouTube, so I thought, hell, I might as well do it. We've got an okay day for it, though the sun might be messing with us, but we'll work with it. And so basically it's a scoring system where we'll put the Winchester, its weight, capacity, accurate, blah blah blah, all that stuff, versus the Remington. And we'll have a final score down on the bottom as to what, from doing this, to what I think is a pretty fair assessment. I don't own a whiteboard, so we're using a corkboard with a cardboard backer. So, okay, first, to compare, weight. So this is a metric scale. I've got it calibrated to 0. So the Winchester first, I'll break it in half so it distributes the weight a little bit better. The Winchester's weight comes to 1.5 kilo. The Remington weighs in at 1 1/4, so 1.25 kg. So the Winchester is heavier, the Remington is lighter, and they do about the same thing, so I'm gonna give that to the Remington. Now, does that mean the Winchester's no good because it is a little on the heavy side?
Where did you get it? Boris the Blade. You mean Boris a sneaky fucking Russian? Heavy, innit?
Heavy is good. Heavy is reliable. If it doesn't work, you can always hit him with it.
No, I don't think so. They're both good little guns. It's just the Winchester's a bit lighter. Okay, capacity with the Winchester. So we're just filling the magazine. This should be a 10 shot. So 10 in the tube, 1 at the spout. It should be 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. It is a 9+1 capacity. The Remington, 10 rounds. Yep, so that would be a 10+1. So going by that, the Remington gets a point. Now then, accurate range. I got to set up the camera, but I've got the little target down there, and we'll do the Winchester on the left, the Remington on the right. Just grouping, we're about, what, I don't know, 20-ish paces. So we'll just get the grouping, and we'll go from there. Unfortunately, the camera has to stay on this side, because if I turn it around, you're facing into the sun, it's shadowy, it's dark, you can't see nothing, so we're going to have to do this. But we've got the other camera, and that'll be back to the sun, so you'll be able to see the shots. So, give me a moment, I'll just go sort that out, and we'll get into it. Okay, so the Winchester first. So, since it's a 9+1, we'll cock it. We've chambered around, I think. No, haven't chambered. There we go, we've chambered around. and we locked. So just 10 rounds on the left side. And the ammunition we're using is Winchester Gold, same as always. Okay. There you go. Sticky feeding. And that's 10 rounds. We're out. We'll shoot the Remington now. So 10 rounds with the Remington. The bore on this is a little bit chewed out, so accuracy it might not be as good as the Winchester, but we'll find out. Miss. 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 It's actually a bit fuzzy too. And we're out. Okay. That might be down to user error, operator error. But we'll go down, we'll count up the grouping and we'll see who did what. Okay, Winchester, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The grouping less than the size of my hand. That's good. Remington, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 perhaps, with a few going high. Yeah, she's a bit okay, so I'll give the accuracy at close range to the Winchester, although we did have a few feeding, not hiccups, but issue getting it in. Okay, so the Winchester gets that one. Okay, so accurate range, that's the Winchester. Grouping size. Close range, that's 1 for the Winchester. Okay, so to conserve ammunition, we're going to do 5-round groups at the long gong. First of all, with the Winchester. Hopefully I don't shoot my camera, that would be bad. I like my camera. Okay, 5.5, that's good. I'll stop the camera, go down and have a look, and then I'll respray it, and then we'll use the Remington, we'll go from there. Okay, Winchester, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bit of a big spread, but at this distance I'm not too fussed with that. And now the Remington. Okay, the Winchester is quite good. We'll try the Remington. Come on. Does this sometimes. Okay. 50 off. I'm not expecting too much. Hope I didn't hit anything important. Oh, catch. Miss. 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 Hit. Wander down, we'll have a look. Okay. 1, 2. Don't think so. Don't think so. Alright, so at long range, the Winchester wins. Okay. Okay, so accurate range at long range, that's going to go to the Winchester. So the Winchester got close range and long range. Okay. Next is rate of fire, so slam fire. Okay, we're loaded up 5 rounds. We're not going to move the camera up because this isn't a test of accuracy, this is just a test of how fast can you get rounds down range. First the Winchester. So, finger on the trigger. Yep, that's pretty slick. That's 5 rounds and I heard 5 dongs. Now then, time for the Remington. So holding my finger down on the trigger. Okay. You cannot slam fire the Remington, so you have to take your finger off and... Okay. That's a definite thing. The Winchester wins rate of fire and slam fire. Give it a safety. Safety on the Winchester is that. And you can't bump the hammer or pull the trigger, but to me, I don't know, if you're walking around in the bush, you could catch that on something, you could, if it went all the way forward and didn't catch. It also allows a hole here for shit to get in the hole and gum up your action, and I don't like the sound of that. Your Remington, so if you pull the trigger, no you shouldn't do this, but we'll pull the trigger. So you cannot engage the button safety on the rear. Once it's cocked, slide the button across, and that's it. So it's slide across, slide across, slide across, across. I prefer this one because you're not opening up any holes or anything to expose the internals of the gun, and it's all self-contained. So for safety, I'm going to say the Remington. The Remington wins that one. Feeding. Okay, so we've got 5 rounds in the gun. Feeding. Now we're just going to run this. Run it here. No, turn around. We'll shoot it nice and slow and smooth. Any jars or hiccups or cartridge variation that might want it to not quite go the way as smooth, I'm going to count that as a knockback. So we're empty. That feels quite smooth. That was very smooth. So we'll give a feeding to the Winchester and the Remington. Okay, so the Remington felt quite smooth. Five rounds, no hiccups, no jams. That ran quite smooth. I'll give that a point as well. Extraction and ejection. We've been watching it shooting. They both extract nicely. I haven't had any issues extracting. Ejecting, personally, I prefer the Remington with the side ports ejection. So when I'm firing, anyway, see if I can shoot this way. I'll put it under that log pile. So we're going to be shooting into the log pile over here. I normally don't like shooting this way, but because of where the sun is, ideally shooting this way would be the best. So we'll do 3 rounds. into the log pile. So what I like about the Remington is that the side port, the side ejection, it throws them out nicely. There's nothing in your eyes, and it's nice and smooth over the top, so you haven't got anything that might obscure your vision. Your Winchester, and don't get me wrong, I love this gun, but your Winchester has the open top receiver and the hammer, so when you cock it, it gets out of your way, but there's always that. Your breech block covers your front sight, so you can't keep a bead on what you're shooting. But for ejection, very smooth. But I don't really like the shells flying up over the top because they hit you in the head, or they just land, and they're just, I don't know, it's personal preference, but I prefer the Remington. So the Remington gets a point. What do we got? Takedown. So both of these guns are takedowns. So you just turn the screw here, pull that all the way, and then that's it. And that's your hammer, and very simple, nothing too much to mess up, and you can see the guts of it. The Winchester, same deal. You just turn the screw and then you slide out. With the screw, you don't have to pull it all the way out like it's a pin. It's only a small little pin that screws in. It locks back in place. Takedown, they're the same really. I'll give them both a point. Smoothness. How smooth are they to run? That's quite smooth, that's quite nice, and these rifles are dry, so there's no lubricant. That's quite a nice, smooth feeling. The Remington. A little bit clunky. It's because your entire magazine tube, everything is connected to the bolt. It just feels a bit clunky, so smoothness, I'd say the Winchester. Simplicity, I haven't taken this personal one to pieces, but I have taken them to pieces, and there is a lot going on. You've got, like in here, you've got cams that cam over and cam down. It's quite a complicated rifle. With the Remington, the bolt is connected to the under tube, and it's quite a simple mechanism, so for simplicity I'm going to go with the Remington on that one. Trigger pull. So that's how comfortable the trigger is when you pull it. So gun's empty, full cock. Okay. Relatively light, but it's nothing bad. The Winchester. Heavier. A lot heavier. So trigger pull, Winchester. Fit. How does it fit into the shoulder? Winchester. It's nice, chunky. Got a nice stock on it. That fits quite nicely into my shoulder, and it's fitting tucked into my shoulder quite good. Okay, that's a nice feel. The Remington. For me, it's a little on the small side. The stock isn't all that long, so I have to kind of hug into it. and it is smaller frame, and so maybe that's, yeah, maybe it's better for someone a bit smaller than me, but for fit into the shoulder, I'm going to give it to the Winchester. The mechanism. Winchester. Simple mechanism, but it has a lot of things going on with action bars and sliders and all kinds of shit. The Remington, very simple. There's no fancy gizmos going on. It's just all mechanical, so is the other one, but personally, Remington. Size. They're roughly the same, muzzle to muzzle, roughly the same, but the Winchester's a little bit longer, just a hair. So I'd say that would go into fit. So yep, I'm going to give it to the Winchester. Cocking and decocking. The Winchester. That's cocked. That's not cocked. So if you're just doing target shooting or plinking, you can load it up, leave one in the chamber, put it on a half cock, and then you just come up and go pop, go pop. Plus you hear that mechanical click click, you know it's there. Winchester to cock, Remington to cock. To decock, you don't really, you just put the safety on and walk around with it on safe. If you do want to decock it, you can either fire it, or you've got to unscrew it and then let the hammer down and then reassemble, which ideally isn't the best. You don't want to be taking your gun to pieces to decock it. It's not like a bolt action where you can just put it on a half cock and then pull the trigger and let the bolt go down. So for that, cocking and decocking, it's nice to cock, not good to decock. So the Winchester gets 2, this gets 1. And malfunction and jam. I haven't had really any bad malfunctions or jammings, just the slightly sticky ammunition before with the Winchester not quite wanting to go in as smoothly, and the Remington, that one projectile was actually a bit skew-whiff from factory, so I didn't quite want to go in, but it did go in on the last round. I'll give them both a point. Yep, okay. He goes up there. Okay, so final scores. Remington has 10 points. The Winchester, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so overall the Winchester won. Now, personal thoughts. These are old guns, no doubt about it. The Winchester has been refinished, so it's got nice shiny metal, beautiful looking stock. And the Remington, she hasn't been touched since get-go, so she's wearing her age. Both good guns. They'll still shoot a rabbit, they'll shoot a sheep, they'll do what you want to do, keep it in the truck, keep it in the car. Good for kids to play with, good for kids to practice with. Both fairly reliable. Finding the parts for them, moderately easy. You still see them coming up now and then. But availability, not as many of them. I'd shoot either of them all day long. With the Remington, her bore was a pretty much smooth bore, so I might take it to an engineering shop or a gunsmith and see if he can reline the barrel with a new barrel tube, and that ought to give it a new lease of life. But so if you gave me the opportunity or the option to shoot either one of them, like you have to pick one up, go with it.
Was is good?
It hurts me to say, but I would choose the Winchester. Even though it's a 9+1, this is a 10+1. It's smoother, trigger pull's better, it's a bit longer. Yes, it's a little bit heavier, but I don't really find that too much of a hassle. But that's not to snuff the Remington at all. If someone took that, then I would happily take this. Tube fed, very reliable. The magazine, just a little spring-loaded clip here, so you just push that there, slam that home. The Winchester got a twist and out. Now, which one's more reliable? I don't know, you're going to catch this on your clothes, you're going to catch that one on your clothes. It's all personal preference. But, yeah, going by the board, it's a 15 to 10, so you're only 5 off, so it's not exactly as if it's a complete wipeout. Yeah, that's probably all I got, really. I think it's Rossi, the little, I think they're South American. They're making the Rossi pump actions, which are essentially modern day Winchesters. And I think, is it Winchester or Browning? I think it's Browning. They make rifles that are a little bit like this. But oh well, still make up just for the fun of it. Just being silly. Yeah. So Winchester versus Remington. Winchester. Now I'm not a brand specific type of person. I'll shoot anything and I'll tell you if I think it's good or not. Both of these rifles, bloody good, even considering the age. So yeah, that's a video. I don't really have anything else I can do, much of a gun versus gun type of thing. Yeah. Oh well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, bye.